dear friends, good afternoon. Thank you for coming. I'm Yang Yuping, Chinese director of Neoma Confucius Institute for Business. Today, it's a great pleasure for us to welcome Professor Gong Ke from Nankai University of China with a very interesting topic, the new generation of artificial intelligence in China. We have also among us Mr. Alex Popovic from Neoma Business School. He is full professor of information systems, head of the Master of Science in Business Analytics, director of the area of in excellence, AI, data science, and business. Now I'd like to invite Professor Popovic to introduce Professor Gong Ke before the beginning of the lecture.
Thank you very much. Dear guests, dear students, dear online guests, I hope you can hear us. It is a great pleasure for me being here today with our esteemed guest, Professor Gong. It is a greatest pleasure for me to have all of you here today to witness this very interesting lecture that Professor Gong is going to deliver us exclusively for Neoma students and the audience at home. I have had the chance to have lunch with Professor Gong, exchange some ideas today, and I can see that the direction where we are going today and where we are going to go in the near future is the right direction in the AI area. Professor Gong is the executive director of the Chinese Institute for New Generation Artificial Intelligence Strategies Development. He is also the chairman of the academic committee of Nankai University. And last but not least, he is the immediate past president of World Federation Engineering Organizations. This just tells us a lot about what we are going to hear today in the terms of AI. And I would like to welcome Professor Gong on the stand to hear his lecture. Professor Gong.
Thank you so much. It is my great pleasure to have this opportunity to deliver this lecture in the Neoma school. Actually, 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago, when I served as the president of Nankai University, we started the collaboration between these two institutions. Now, the topic I'm going to talk is about artificial intelligence. And here in the screen, you see the chat I have made early today, actually 8 o'clock or 8:30, to talk with the ChatGPT about Neoma School and its collaboration with Nankai University. If you can read these small characters of Chinese characters, the first question I pose is, do you know the UNESCO Engineering in France? I use Chinese, UNESCO Engineering. I have not give the French or the name in English. And then it said, yes, I know. The UNESCO Engineering in France is most famous business school, one of the most famous business schools in France, which is founded in 1881. That's wrong. It's another business school. So then I told it, the ChatGPT, what I mentioned is the business school in Rouen, not HEC Paris. And then said, sorry, I misunderstood your question and so on and so forth. Back to the correct answer. So that's a very significant, most recent breakthroughs of AI technology. So now, after the very short introduction, I back to my topic, some notable progresses of artificial intelligence, not just in China, but in the globe. So here's an outline of my talk. Some background information, significant applications of AI, technical progresses in algorithm, characteristics of AI industry based on our observation, important development trends, AI governance, and significant progress. Early today, I just mentioned we had a lunch together with Professor, I forgot, Bobovich. Yeah, good, Professor Bobovich. He asked me the attitude of China to AI. In fact, China attached a lot of importance to AI for the further development of China's modernization. The strategy, the national strategy adopted by China 10 years ago and stressed last year in its 20th National Congress of the People's Republic, the Communist Party. The strategy is called innovation-driven development strategy. So the modernization of China should be driven by innovation. So talking about innovation, do you know who is he? Good, yeah, Joseph Schumpeter. And according to his theory, the innovation is to establish a new production function by introducing a new combination of production factors and production conditions into the production system. The new combination of factors that we believe that's a key word. We consider artificial intelligence, it's kind of a new combination of technical factors. That's algorithm, big data, and computational power. ABC, we'll call it algorithm, big data, and C, computing power. So these combinations make AI to be a very powerful tool to us. So let's go some background of AI. My first question is, if you are answered, what is AI? What would be your answer to such a question? If anyone could have to answer this question, just use one sentence. What is AI in your mind? Please, please. A learning machine. That's a good answer. Is there another answer from our girl students? No? Well, what is AI? Have you used AI? Yes. What is it? Anyway, thanks. But he has answered. AI is a learning machine. We call it the algorithm machine learning, but as a tool, it's a learning machine. It's a quite good answer. Actually, from in the government's view, AI is a new factor of production, a new technology, a breakthrough technology. So we see since 2016, there's a lot of national strategies released. Here you see by your country, France here. I think this one is UK, and this one's European Union. This is Japan, this is United States, and we have also a Chinese national strategy for AI development. And that was released in the year 2017. And if we talk to Chinese strategy, I think these 4 points is important for you to know. First, China want to develop AI and AI application with a driving force for scientific technological innovation. So China set a big program, technical program, to encourage institutions, higher learning institutions, universities, Chinese Academy of Sciences, to work on AI innovation. That's a big amount of money. I think that's because that program is from 2017 to 2030. China's from government investment, I think it's more than billion euro, for the 13 years. And second point is promoting smart economy, society, governance, with emphasis on real economy. So AI is not just a technology. AI should applied in the all industrial sectors, in social services, to improve the Chinese governance. But the emphasis is laid on real economy, especially manufacturing. We call it smart manufacturing, just like in Deutschland, in Germany, they call it Industry 4.0. Very similar strategy like that carried out in China. And the third point is attaching importance to AI's dual attributes. It is considered that AI is not just a technology. AI has social attributes. So we have to put big attention to the potential negative effects on the social, the social equity, the development gaps between different group of people from different geographical regions. And the plan of Chinese plan is a long-term plan with 3 steps. The first step from 17 to 20, and then the next 5 years, and then another next 5 years, totally 13 years long development strategy. So that's the Chinese one. And here is a book compiled jointly by United Nations, UN DASO, called the Department of Social and Economical and Social Affairs. And the World Federation of Engineering Organization I served at that time as president, we worked together to summarize the national strategies on AI development. And we found in the year 2020, there are more than 40 nations has made their national strategy. And even United States have already made the 2nd edition, the updated edition of its national strategy. So that's have attached to great importance by the government. So first, AI is an important part of the national development. Second, AI is not a new technology. AI, that is in the year 1956, and here the average age of these founders of AI is 29 at that year. The eldest one is this. He is Claude Shannon. And at that year, he is 39. He's the eldest. And I cannot tell. Here's a small one. This guy is this one after 50 years. And after 50 years, when they celebrate the AI at 50, AI is still in a very difficult time in the year 2006. In the history, we see AI 3 waves, up and down of the AI development. And finally, they going up from 2010 or 2012 or exactly 2013 up to now. In the past 10 years, AI is quickly going up, growing. Why? Because the new combination of big data and computing power. The big data given by ImageNet, I don't know whether you have used the ImageNet. That is the very big data set of images. The size in the year 10 years ago is 50 million labeled pictures. And people can use this data to train the AI model and to compete who is the best in computer vision to recognize those pictures. And the competition starts in the year 2010. And the average failure rate of the 5 most advanced team is about 28% failure, not useful. About 28% failure. And then in the year 2012, a team from University of Toronto has reached a failure rate as low as 15%. And people notice why they can get such a big performance, because they use the algorithm which is called deep learning. Deep learning, as you said, it's a learning machine. Deep learning algorithm is used based on the deep neural network. So in the next year, all the 5 top teams use that algorithm with fine-tune, and another team reached here near to 10% and past 10%. Finally, in the year 15, is reached 3%, around 3% failure rate, better than average of humankind. The humankind, we choose 50 persons and tie them into different groups with different age, different experience. And the average failure rate is about between 5 to 10%. But machine recognition can reach to around 3%. So that's a great progress. It's made by the innovation with a new combination of advanced algorithm, big data, and powerful computing, cloud computing support this. So after that, the further advance of AI is mainly based on the algorithm. We call it deep neural network. Why neural network? That is a brain-inspired approach. We know this is fruit fly, very small. I would like to call it animal. And this fruit fly has 250,000 neurons in its, if I can call it the brain, in its brain, and 10 million synapses linking these neurons. So, however, a human has 86 billion neurons and 150 trillion synapses. So human being is much clever, much smarter than a fruit fly. Perhaps because we have more neurons and more connections between these neurons. So inspired by this, we find a algorithm called a deep neural network like this. These are layers of neurons. And here, the link is synapses linking the neuron from layer to layer. So this model, we call it deep neural network. We try to use this a structured model to simulate the human brain. So based on this model, AI is now becoming an emerging general purpose technology, and who is driving the 4th industrial revolution. So that's our recognition to this this important how to say, it's important technology. So what is the current wave since 2012 or 2013, including the AlphaGo beats the Chinese chat players, and also including the Chat GPT released just a few months ago, 3 months ago. So we consider the new wave of AI is mainly based on first, deep neural network, that's algorithm, plus big data, and plus computing power. Without computing power, we cannot do this. And some significant application has happened in the past years based on widely application in our daily life and our works. So let me ask, what is your favorite AI tool? Because you have used AI tools such as Google Map, Google Translator, Google Search, Alexa. Yeah, Alexa. That's your favorite one? Yeah, Amazon Alexa, I know, yeah. Amazon says another giant on AI, yeah, of course, because Amazon has a lot of data. And have you any used the Chat GPT? You like it? Yes, I think Chat GPT is incredible. Yeah, it's better than Google search, actually. It helps a lot. So I would like to say AI does help us to reach the Sustainable Development Goals identified by the United Nations in its agenda. We call it the 2030 Agenda of Sustainable Development Goals. Right? And the goal 3 is about good health and well-being, dealing with our healthy. During the past years, AI has used to help prediction of the COVID. It has used to help a quick diagnosis, and it has been used to detect the affected person, and it also has been used for drug development, even though not so successful as expected, but it is a useful tool and helped to some extent. And of course, it has also used for monitoring the affections, try to stop the epidemic. And another example is a startup company, very small company called In Silico Medicine, which has used a AI tool developed by itself, has the PandaOmics, to carry out targeted research on the renal the fibrosis. It's a very severe illness. And they use a common tool, which is chemistry for two. Chemistry for two is a open source tool widely used in the chemical labs to generate a new compound with drug property, and has shown good, very very inspiring results from the current research. So that's AI for medicine. And we also, you know, Danfoss is a Denmark company. They run a big manufacturing factory in China and use so-called smart manufacturing. They use a model, they call it the knowledge-based model. Actually, that's a data-based model. And this model is used with data analysis, process optimization, and 3D printing. And they reached a decline of customers' complaint. How much? 20% per year from 2014 to 19, and also increased the productivity in these years from 21% to 11% because this goes slower. And then they reduced the cost, average 15% per year. So that's the profit brought by the AI application to this factory. And also I show the SDGs. And I think many of you have visited China, a very beautiful city, Hangzhou. But the traffic, the public traffic for this city is very, very difficult because of the beautiful Xihu Lake is in the center of the city. So to improve the traffic on this city, a system called City Brain, based on AI and big data, was introduced, and that makes this city from number 4 to number 57 of the traffic congestion in Chinese cities. Significant improvement. And here I show you some other data with the help of big data and AI, the implementations of smart city in different parts of China has cut on traffic congestions and accidents, increased nature-based solutions to adapt for climate change, address pollution and other health and safety risks. So the life saved each year from traffic accidents in the city of 5 million residents is from 30 to 300 lives saved, and 30 to 40% fewer crime incidents because AI empowered security system, and also 8 to 15 lower disease burden, 15 to 30 minutes saved of the daily commute, and 25 to 80 liters of water, clean water saved per person per day, 20 to 35% faster emergency response times. So that's the profit we have gained from AI applications in city management. And here is another example of, we call it robotaxi, which is now run in commercial service in a city called Changzhou in Hebei province. Personally, I have tested this with very good experience, but there's still not a driver. We call it a monitor sitting in the driver's seat, but he or she did not drive the car. The car drives automatically, but she or she takes care of the passengers. So, and this kind of application also used in Amsterdam. Here is, you see another example, a autopilot boat on the Amsterdam canal had an error less than 0.17 meter after 3 hours operation. So these are some examples to use AI system assisted by big data to quickly find out the leaky sewer pipe, the leakage, and fix the problem. Anyway, these examples are show you the widely application of AI technology in different areas. But most significant progress in the past years of the AI application is so-called AI for science. The striking example is that a program called AlphaFold 2 can predict the folders of protein of human, And that is a very big challenge to biologists in the past years. They use a lot of expensive machine to search the protein fold. However, with the help of AI, it can predict the protein structure, which is proved by the physical machine, which is the microscope. The agreement is higher than 35%. So that's considered a significant breakthrough in biology since 100 years. And another example is AI for math. A pure mathematics research is to discover the laws between mathematical objects and to form conjectures. In the last edition of 2021, the Nature has published a paper from DeepMind, which developed a machine learning framework that can help mathematicians discover new conjectures and theorems. So that's amazing application in math. And 2 or 3 weeks ago, there's another publication show that with the help of AI, people find a quicker algorithm to calculate. So it's the calculation of I forgot 这个矩阵用英文怎么讲？谁知道这矩阵代数里面那个矩阵乘法 ？Anyway, it's a widely used calculation in computer image recognition. So here you see the paper published in Nature, cover page paper. And also AI for physics and chemistry. The example is, again, DeepMind. They open source the FemiNet, which help people to solve the Schrödinger equation. Schrödinger equation is a fundamental equation for quantum physics. But this equation is hardly to be solved because if you consider multiple atoms, millions of atoms. So real material has millions, billions of atoms. So it is very hard to solve such equation. But with the help of machine learning, this problem is partly solved in recent years. Here you see the paper published in Science. And AI has also successfully used in technology, in IC chip design. Here I just show you the 3 top papers awarded in the Design Automation Conference, the big conference for design automation in the year 2021 in San Diego, United States. All 3, the top 3 awarded paper, all are given to machine learning methodologies. So that's a good example to show how good, how attractive this machine learning technical method used for chip design. And here is a concrete example adopted by Google and Stanford University. They work jointly to use machine learning to optimize their design for their TPU, tensor processing unit. So that's about AI for science. Please note that's one of the most significant progress in AI application in the past, say, 3 years. And another important breakthrough is AIGC. That's AI-generated contents like GPT. But not only GPT. Here I show you example. This picture. Can you tell who drew this picture? Do you know that? Computer. Yeah, it is drawn by computer in a style of Rembrandt. So it is called next Rembrandt. You know, Rembrandt has drawn a lot of self-portrait. Here is
one of his great achievements, one of Rembrandt's great achievements, was to portray human emotions in a much more convincing way than artists had before him, and in many ways for all time.
It tells you how a computer learned to draw as Rembrandt. The next Rembrandt.
At ING, we believe in the power of innovation, what it can mean to people. We want to bring this innovative spirit to our sponsorship of Dutch art and culture. We knew that for this challenge, we needed to team up with experts from various fields to make this come to life.
We're using a lot of data to improve business life. But we haven't been using data that much in a way that touches the human soul. You could say that we use technology and data like Rembrandt used his paints and his brushes to create something new.
The first step was to study the works of Rembrandt in order to create an extensive database. We gathered the data from his collection of paintings from many different sources, including 3D scans and upscale images using a deep learning algorithm. Because a significant percentage of Rembrandt paintings were portraits, we analyzed the demography of the faces in these paintings, looking at factors like gender, age, and head direction. The data led us to the conclusion that the subject should be a portrait of a Caucasian male with facial hair between 30 and 40 years old, in dark clothing with a collar, wearing a hat, and facing to the right. From there, we started to extract features only with faces that were related to that specific profile.
And we had to create a whole painting from just data. And we used statistical analysis and various algorithms to extract the features that make Rembrandt Rembrandt.
We took parts of the face and we started to compare them. And then, based on this, we're able to create a typical Rembrandt eye or nose or mouth or ear. After generating the features, we were focusing on the face proportions. We used an algorithm that can detect over 60 points in a painting. We were able to align the faces and to estimate the distance between the eyes, the nose, and the mouth and the ears.
A painting is not a 2D picture. It's 3D. You can see the canvas, you can see the process, and that's what makes the painting come alive. A hive map is essential to make the painting a painting.
We incorporated the height map into the painting and printed on a 3D printer that uses a special paint-based UV ink. It printed many layers, one on top of the other, which resulted in the height and texture of the final painting.
More than 300 years of the death of
It's sometimes a magical moment to see a painting for the first time, even if it's computer generated. For me, it is something special. I would have believed if I saw it in a museum that it would have been a real Rembrandt, just one I haven't seen before.
That tells you how
It will be interesting to see Rembrandt looking at it. You will be happy that there are people trying to understand him, trying to create something out of that. So I think he will be happy.
The next Rembrandt makes you think about where innovation can take us. What's next?
So another example is music. You know, the famous music Schubert has his eighth symphony called Unfinished, because we just find 3 episodes of that symphony. With help of AI, they learned the musical style of Schubert from his symphonies, his serenades. AI has helped to finish the 4th episode of the Unfinished. So that's it's amazing, and performed in Los Angeles 2 years ago. With the AI completed the 4th episode. Because of the time, I just skipped this, and you could find it on website. So to summarize the AI applications, I would like to say AI applications are widely penetrating into our daily life and works and social services. However, the notable recent progress are seen in the changing from single model, single task to multi-model and multi-tasks, and from identifying objects by machine, whether this is a dog or cat, to creating contents. That's significant progress of AI application. And behind this progress, it is the progress of AI algorithms. And the most, this picture shows the papers published in the past 3 years on the AI algorithm and the application, the fields of application of these algorithm. And here we see this continuous growth of AI publications on the new algorithm or progress of algorithm. And here shows you the international collaboration of those publications. Number 1 is collaborated between China and the United States, even though the geopolitical tension is getting intensified in the past years, but still the collaboration between China and the United States is almost 3 times. Then the second is AI, China and UK. The third, the China and Australia. The fourth is AI and Canada. The fifth is AI Germany, AI Japan, China Japan, China Singapore. Unfortunately, in the top place, I have not found China France, which is central collaboration on AI development. And so here is the total publication in the world, and this one is the total from China. So China contributes a big part to the AI research. However, the most significant progress is so-called the pre-training model with large amount of parameters. You can remember the deep neural network. There's a connection, links between one neural to all other neurons in the second layer. So every link needs a parameter to adjust the output from this neural to the next layer. So that's so-called parameter. The model called GPT-3, generative pre-trained transformer, the third version, has 175 billion parameters and used 45 trillion bytes of data to train it. The training cost for training this model is $12 million US. You use a lot of computer power to train such a big model. But this is happened in the year 2021 that opened a new approach of so-called super big model with super large parameters. And here you see, here is 155 billion GPT-3, and then passed by a Google Swift transformer with 1,600 billion, and then passed by a Chinese one with 1,750 billion parameters, and then passed by another Chinese company, Ali, M3, worked together with Tsinghua University. That's 10,000 billion parameters. So that's a big competition on the growth of the parameters of the AI models. However, that makes us to have a so-called multi-model services. Here I show you a so-called digital person. And this is a real application used for the Winter Olympic last year in Beijing. And this digital person, they combines the text subtitle, the voice, and the gesture for the blind people, for the deaf people. So that's a combination of different media. Great success based on the big amount parameters model. Again, ChatGPT is another example to use big amount of parameters, a large model, to reach its significant breakthrough. But the technical growth not just have the single pathways of large model. There's a lot of examples show you small models can also help the development of AI technologies, such as here, so-called spiking neural network, SN, which reduced the amount of neurons significantly. It can reduce the size of the model by 1,000 times and introduce a time function. That the neuron has a function is timely varied, time varied function. And here shows you a real example, just with 19 neurons developed by MIT to control a car. And here is another example developed by Tsinghua University, China. You see the bicycle.
Straight.
Listen to the voiced instruction to speed up and to avoid obstacles automatically, follow up that person. So this is released on Nature, and in the Nature cover page is called Dual Control by a Deep Neural Network and Spiking Neural Network. And Tsinghua University combines these two algorithms into one chip. So there's a lot of studies on brain-explained impulse or sparking neural network. This is worth to mention, so-called swarm learning, another kind of learning machine. That the swarm learning don't use a big data set, unified data set. They use distributed data set and keep the data set in the hand of its owners and don't exchange data, just exchange the parameters of the model. And after several rounds of optimization, they got the final optimized data, just like using a unified data set. So that would help to keep the privacy of the data with its owners. So that's a significant progress. And also, many efforts has been made to understand how can AI make such judgment? How can they learn the features from Rembrandt and the features from Schubert and create the contents? So this work is underway, but significant progress has been shown in the recent years using geometric understanding of deep learning. The deep learning machine is considered, the model as considers the high dimensional model, and so that's too much for me to understand. But this work is carried out jointly by Tsinghua University, China, Harvard University, MIT, UC Berkeley, Toronto, Tokyo, and many universities working together try to explain how the AI model works. And also, people also working on to control the fairness and the bias of AI model to check whether the performance of this model is unbiased. This is a quite hard job, but people have shown some progress in that approach. So anyway, even though there's significant progress of AI technology, there are still major technical bottlenecks of AI. First, data dependency. A good model largely depends on the quantity and the quality of the data set. Second is a semantic gap. Usually, AI used for voice recognition could not use for image recognition. So that's a semantic gap. Third is transferability. So AI can play chess, but could not play cards. So we cannot transfer this to a similar, even it could not, they can play Go, but could not play chess. The fourth one is explainability. We could not explain. That's a black box. We could not explain how could it reach such a good results. But sometimes a false results. The reason is by far even not clear. And the fifth one is efficiency, energy efficiency at first, because it's a very energy consuming training process. And then reliability. Can we really trust what AI told us? If I don't know the Neoma school is newly established, I could take the first answer, the first wrong answer of the ChatGPT and consider Neoma is founded in 1885. So that's wrong. So we need to make them more trustable and reliable. And AI technology is fast growing to overcome its shortcomings. So we see some progress to overcome those shortcomings, especially the ChatGPT represented breakthrough, which we call generative AI. That is really, there's a new start. This is not the end of AI. This is a new start of AI. I think I have almost used out my time. I would like to skip some parts of my content, but I think it is very important to say a few words about AI governance. Let me start this. We do identify some major social concerns to AI. For example, the fairness, inclusiveness, privacy protection, equity, the digital divide, security, misuse of AI. So these are growing social concerns to AI. And how to overcome these social concerns? Here are some example of biased AI, the unsafe AI. So there's a deep fake like this. So let's to summarize this, we believe we need AI governance. However, the AI governance system should be based on safeguarding human rights, based on the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of United Nations, and also achieving the Sustainable Development Goals defined by United Nations in for 2030. One example of progress in China is a law of data security, in which the data privacy is identified. The second law is about personal information protection law, which get into effective the year before last year. That's in China. Internationally, we think very important progress is WHO Global Report on AI in Health. There are 6 guiding principles released. First is to protecting the human autonomy. And another important document published by UNESCO in November 2021, adopted by its General Conference that year, is the recommendations on AI ethics of AI. And in this recommendation, 4 values are proposed. First, respect, protection, and promotion of human rights and the fundamental freedom of human dignity. First. The second one is environment and ecosystem flourishing. The third one is ensuring diversity and inclusiveness. The fourth one is living in peaceful, just, interconnected society. 4 values. Based on these 4 values, 10 principles is proposed. First, proportionality and do no harm. Second, safety and security. Third, fairness and non-discrimination. Fourth, sustainability. 5, right to privacy and data protection. 6, human oversight and determination, human authority. 7, transparency and explainability. 8, responsibility and accountability. 9, awareness and literacy. 10, multi-stakeholder and adaptive governance and collaboration worldwide. So that's principles, that's standard setting documents based on international law proposed by UNESCO. Here I put 8 questions to have a responsible ethical AI. First, how to reduce the dependency on the quality and the quantity and the quality of data. Second, how to merge multi-model information to enhance AI capability. Third, how to achieve a stronger group intelligence from networked AI system. Because today, the AI tools is individual, but they are linked in the cloud. How to make so-called group intelligence. Fourth, how to integrate AI with HI, human intelligence, into a mutually inspired augmented intelligence. ChatGPT has introduced the interaction between the users and the tools. That's significant progress, and how to explain the way of AI conception, recognition, and decision, how to significantly increase the energy efficiency of AI, and how to transfer the learned knowledge from one to another scenario, how to check if an AI system is unbiased and fair and inclusive. So we have to answer these questions and to respond to the call of Stephen, that is guiding AI to benefit humanity and the environment. So I stop my talk here. Thank you for your attention. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, our guest. So we have some time now for Q&As, okay? People at home over Zoom, I just left you a message in chat. So if you could share your questions over chat, I'll taking them from there. What about from the audience? I have set up last night, I couldn't sleep, late night arrival. I set up some questions for our guest. I don't want to hit with too heavy questions immediately. So does someone want to start with some easy weight questions? Anyone? Any questions for our guest?
Make an open discussion. So you are discussing.
So, okay, let me start with something that might be of interest of all of us. Okay, now we have heard a lot about AI today, where it is going, where it has been, what we can expect. So my question is, in your opinion, is AI a threat or an opportunity for human intelligence and creativity?
Both, both. But I think if we use AI correctly, ethically, responsibly, that's a good opportunity for human development, because it's a tool. If you really have good experience with ChatGPT, you will find that ChatGPT is under your guidance to reach what you want. So the question is that if you are capable to guide ChatGPT or just simply follow ChatGPT, so I think it's a challenge for the AI users and developers. Our aim is to make AI, the motto of United Nations about AI is called AI with human values for sustainable development. That is what we want. And that is what we work on.
Interestingly, in your answer, I could pick the undertone of regulation. So let me continue along these lines. Do you think AI should be regulated by us, humans, or by itself?
What's your answer? Would you like to give the authority to AI? No, we should hold authority in the hand of a human being. I think it is very important to ensure AI for the good of humankind and the globe, the earth. But to have the control of AI is not an easy job. You have to build the capacity to control AI, to oversee the AI performance. For example, if you use ChatGPT, at first, you need to check the facts. You could not just simply believe what it says to you. You have to check it. You have to build up your own knowledge about the contents you are dealing with. You write your thesis. You have to master those sufficient knowledge in your mind, just not simply follow the tool.
And I agree. And we are trying, but I guess the other mic is not working. So on one of your slides, just before you finish with this one, I picked another important topic: how to ensure that AI gets aligned with our goals and values? I know you mentioned it should be aligned, but how to ensure that?
That's a good and tough question. Actually, we have discussed a lot, and personally with my colleagues, we have published a paper last year on so-called embedding the human values or the ethical principles into AI system. So that's a very difficult job. There are different approaches. One approach is to have standardized data set which reflects the human values and use that data set to train AI model. That's one approach, but you need a lot of work to work with your very big data set. Another approach is to make the AI principles into a kind of knowledge and merge this knowledge into AI system. This way we have done similar to ChatGPT has made. That is interaction with a human developer. And this human developer should be an ethical person and try to correct the improper answers of AI and to teach it how to perform ethically. So that we also try to find the third approach. That is, we combine a human knowledge with values and data, and to have a data plus knowledge-driven AI. Oh, this not easy, but we are working on it.
Good, thank you, thank you. So have I sparked your interest a little bit? Are there any questions from your side maybe? Want to go ahead, please?
Aren't you afraid that, for example, AI can make a human being a little bit like dumb, kind of dumb at some point? Because, for example, there are many people using ChatGPT for doing like homework work. Don't you afraid that?
So actually, we could not avoid students use ChatGPT. Back to 20 years ago, when I worked in Chinese university, we have even tried to stop students use internet because they just how to say this? They just find a similar paper and copy some paragraphs and cut it down and put into his or her paper. So to avoid it, we have tried to shut down the internet in student dormitory. But it's stupid. It is really stupid. That mobilize our students to the bars to get access to internet. So we could not avoid students to use ChatGPT. The challenge is that we have to guide students to use ChatGPT properly, effectively, and ethically, and responsibly. So if you simply follow what ChatGPT tells you, I can tell if there are 3 students, both of them use ChatGPT, wrote a given article, I can tell who is better because all of them use ChatGPT, but someone use better, guide the GPT to a high level thesis. Some people just follow what GPT said, get an average thesis. So I think a good teacher can tell this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Frank, my English is not very fluent, but
You can speak Chinese if you can.
Ngakoso. My question is, what do you want by AI conférencier to student? Communication, information, or ideas do you want?
I'm not quite get what's your question.
What do you want?
Maybe you can, yeah, you can use in France and somebody can help you to translate into English.
Donc, qu'est-ce qu'il voudrait avoir exactement après sa conférence par rapport à l'auditoire? Est-ce que c'est une conférence d'information, une communication, ou il voudrait avoir des idées que le public puisse se donner?
Could you help? Oh, please, please, please. Thank you.
Repeating French.
La question est quoi exactement? Bon. Est-ce que c'est une communication? Dialoguer avec le public. Est-ce que c'est pour l'information?
他想问一下，您这讲座的最终极目的，就是说是想跟大家大致的介绍一下这个智能这个
人工智能
这个信息人工智能的信息呢，还是说是想主要是想跟大家交流？
Good. Actually, I'm asked to talk about AI because AI is so important for the further development of the whole world. And what I really want for you to take away is first, AI is a general purpose technology which will change the world, will change your workplace, will change your job, will change the paradigm of education, of research, of our finance, of our management. So that's a big thing we have to pay attention to, we have to understand, and we have to make successful use of this powerful tool to empower ourselves in your future career. So that's the first thing I want you take away. The second thing is that AI has dual attributes. They may have some black side, some negative impacts, such as bias, discrimination, unfair, misuse, and so on and so forth. So I want to know we have to use this tool ethically and responsibly. So it is very important. Just like you use a knife, you can use a knife to cook, to help you easy your life, but you can also use a knife to kill a person. So use the tool properly, ethically. That is a very important message I want you get. Thirdly, I want to take this opportunity to interact with you, to know what your opinion to further AI development. So that's my purpose. Thank you.
Let's take one more question. Oh, we have 2, 3. Okay, perfect.
Do you think that there is a risk about the employment with the increasing of the AI system?
Pardon?
There is a risk about the employment.
Employment, yes. I've often asked like question. My opinion is that for the concrete position may placed by AI, for example, for simple translator, that will be replaced by AI. But more jobs will be created by AI, just like the car replaced the job of a horse driver. But car has produced a lot of working places for car production, for car driving and car maintenance and so on and so forth. Behind the AI, it's a lot of manpower required, dealing with data, dealing with algorithm, dealing with check out the proper use of the AI and so on and so forth. So it is very, very important for the new generation to master AI technology. If you could not use AI, just like people could not use electricity. Yeah, use microphone, please.
So about the video about the next Rembrandt, yeah, sorry. You use a lot of database to create it. So I don't really understand how it is new, because the AI is based on a lot of data, but does it actually create something new, or is it more of a recreated? I don't know.
It's a very, very good question. Personally, I believe they learned from Rembrandt, they learned from Schubert, they create something. It's not brand new, it's not unique. It's just, as he told us, it's a learning machine. They learn from the, and to some extent, it just repeat that style in music and in painting. Even the ChatGPT, the first question I posed to ChatGPT is in last September, when I want to send a New Year's card to my colleagues of my AI Institute. I asked ChatGPT, could you tell me what is most significant progress of AI this year? And it answered, no, I can't, because all my knowledge is stopped by 2021. Because the data used for train the machine is by the end of 2021. So what it told me, if it made correctly, is what it has been trained from the data he has been trained. So to make creative works, that's the job of the human being. Thank you.
First of all, thank you for your presentation. You talked about Industry 4.0, and rightly so. You can see that we are moving towards Industry 5.0, where the focus is going to be on human-machine interaction.
Sure.
And under this backdrop, how do you see two countries like France and China collaborate? And if I can be more specific, how can GONG Ke and Neoma, come together and work together to come out with some interesting research output and teaching mechanisms?
Thank you very much. Actually, the Industry 4.0 is proposed by German, and 10 years ago, even 15 years ago. It is characterized based on the automation. The next step of the automation is smart manufacturing. But traditionally, the robots working in the workplace is isolated with people. So I understand the concept of the Industry 5.0 is the interaction between the robot and the human workers. That is in the context of artificial intelligence, we called it is a human machine reinforced intelligence. Actually, if you use ChatGPT, you will feel when you use it, you teach it, and you yourself also influenced by its answers. So that's a kind of interaction. Currently now in China, a lot more and more discussion on Industry 5.0. And personally, I do want to see that our two institutes, Nankai University and NEOMA, we will have worked together. We are going to work together, perhaps starting by a joint seminar, joint symposium, to discuss this and find common interest, and to get some funds to work on a concrete project. Personally, I would like to encourage the Nankai University actively to engage with your people and do something to promote Industry 5.0. Thank you.
老师你好，就是很多人说，人工智能能有一天就是超越人类，就是我想知道一下您对这个看法。
Has worked more than 10 years with artificial intelligence. I see no chance for AI to surpass human intelligence, because by far they can perform very well based on the data we collected and we use that data to train it. If we use fraud information, we could see a very bad performance of AI. So the authority is in the hand of human being. But sometimes some people do give it oversee to the tools, just to simply follow up the tools. That's, I would say, stupid human. And that mistake at first is the mistake made by the human itself. So I do believe if you look back to the past 300 years since the Industrial Revolution, at the beginning, a new technology really threatened people, like car, like aero flight, like nuclear physics. But once it is carefully overseen by ethical people, we can see it can benefit our society. But still, you need good governance, technology governance. And today, a big challenge is that because of the geopolitical divide, it is very hard to reach a global, harmonized governance on those faster growing technology. It's a real concern for us.
I'll ask something. Oh, I don't need. I speak loud. So we are very grateful to have you here. Pleasure. Most of these about how to do right one.
I think to have a good, sufficient experience to use most advanced AI tools, that is very, very important. If you don't know it, if you could not use it, that will be a big disadvantage for you and for your career. So know the most advanced tools and could effectively use it. But keep in mind, you have to use it ethically, responsibly. So to be working in the big context of sustainable development, that will guide you in the good, in the correct, right direction. That will help you to do right things. I think the most important is to choose right things to do and then do things right. But how to choose the right things? You should understand the historical trend of human society is going to sustainable development. So understand that context. Use the most advanced tools with human value for sustainable development. That is my advice to you. You have to know concretely finance, management, and so on and so forth. But you have to know global sustainable development. You have to know climate change. You have to know the current inequality on our Earth. So set your goal high and choose the right things to do, and then you can do things right with powerful tools, useful tools. I think that's my advice. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Gong Ke, for this very beautiful lecture, who is very instructive. And thank you for Professor Popovich for the leading of the conference. And thank you for our students for your questions. To those who are interested in the events organized by our Confucius Institute, we will have on the 23 March 23 conference about with Nathalie Pastanelli, quand la Chine s'éveillera verte. See you next time. À la prochaine fois. Merci.